Do you think that you are undercharging for your therapy sessions but feel stuck when it comes to raising your rates? Just so you know, you are not alone, and this is what we're going to talk about in today's video so that you can feel confident with raising your rates in 2025. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Kim. I help therapists in private practice with their business systems and processes, getting them confident with admin and reducing tech overwhelm. And in this video, I am going to guide you through how you can raise your rates both with new and existing clients. We're going to acknowledge the discomfort around this and also focus on the financial facts that really matter. Raising your rates isn't just about earning more. It's about making sure that your business can weather the financial uncertainty that we have now, and that you can make sure that your time is balanced so you're not burning yourself out trying to earn the money that you need. So the first thing you really need to focus on is calculating what you actually need. So if you haven't done this before, I would highly recommend doing so. You might have been in practice for years and never completed this task, but it's really important to understand what it is that you need for your business to succeed and for you to have enough money in your life to live the life that you want. So I have a really quick exercise in how you can calculate your fees, and you're going to need to know some information. So the first thing you want to know is how much you actually want to earn for yourself. So this means having a look at your own personal finances and any budgets that you have for that, so that you know how much you need to bring in each week, each month, and for the year. So you need to have that figure. The second figure you need to know is what your expenses are for your private practice. Now, if you've been in private practice a while, and let's say you're coming up to doing your self-assessment at the end of January, this is a great time to have a look at what your expenses actually are. And if you have calculations from April this year, you can kind of take an average of that to get 12 full months of expenses. And you want to add those two together. Once you know how much you need to earn in total for yourself and for your business, then you can do this quick sum, which I'm going to put on screen so you can pause the video so you can sit and work out what your actual session fee needs to be. Now, this fee might be completely different to what you're currently charging, and you might think there's no way I can change my fee from what I currently am charging to that one. That's okay. It's just about understanding and knowing your finances so that you can work towards that. You can also make changes to how many weeks you want to take off, how many sessions you have, so that you can try and get to that figure. But what you want to work towards is your ideal. How many weeks you want to work in a year and how many clients you'd like to see in a week. You want to work towards that. But if you don't know the information, you can't travel the road to get there. Your costs for your practice are going up all the time. If you work from home, your utility bills are going up. If you have an office that you rent, your rent is probably going up. You're also going to pay more for any online subscriptions that you have. They go up all the time. So your clients will expect rate increases. We're going to talk more about that later, but just know that an annual rate increase isn't just about what you need and want for yourself. It's also to cover those additional costs that you are spending out each week. If you think about it, if you did not change your rate at all and the cost kept going up, you would be earning less and less and less each year. So you have to put your rate up in line with that at least, so that you're earning the same amount. Okay, let's start with something really simple, which is raising rates for new clients. This is an awesome place to start because new clients have zero expectations about what the session should cost. You can simply just update your fee everywhere you need to update it. And I'm going to put some examples on the screen of all the places that you need to update your fee, because you don't want to have conflicting fees all over the internet or in your own paperwork and things like that. You want to be really streamlined. So you want to make sure that you're keeping a note of everywhere that you are online, whether that's websites, social media, directory listings. And you also want to think about your paperwork and any other place that you mention your fee, like email templates and things like that. So I would keep a little checklist somewhere of all the places that you have your fee listed, so that you can go ahead and update them all and you don't miss one. And so a client contacts you and say, oh, I saw on X that your fee is £90. Why are you charging me £100? You don't want that to happen. So make sure that you update everywhere that needs to be updated. Also, if you have regular referrals, like if you have a network of other therapists or other professionals, make sure you let them know about your rate increase as well. It's also a great way to kind of just refresh people's minds about you. You can just, wish them happy holidays, just let them know that in January you're putting your fee up to new clients to this, but also we'd love to connect with them, things like that. So make sure that you also let people know about your fee increase. Okay, so that was the easy bit. I'm easing you into it. The next part is actually telling your existing clients. And I know this can cause some anxiety. I know some of my clients can get really worried about fee increases. You have a really unique perspective when it comes to your clients because you know them so intimately, and you know if they're going through financial issues or all the things personally that's going on in their lives, which a hairdresser, a plumber, a dentist doesn't know or really care about when they're putting up their fees. So I understand why it's much harder for you to remove all of that and just be really clinical when it comes to putting up your rates. But I'm going to give you some strategies next to help you do this in the easiest and most compassionate way. So the first thing you want to do is really think to yourself about when you want to raise rates. Now, I would suggest doing this at least annually for existing clients, and you want to pick a day when everybody's rate is going to increase. You don't want to do things where you're having to calculate when they would need to put it up. So for example, after they've been with you 6 months, you're going to put the fee up, or after they've been with you 12 months, you're going to put the fee up, because inevitably that's a lot of admin and people are going to get missed, and it's just going to cause you much more stress than needed. You just want to pick a day. Now, lots of therapists do put their fee up at the end of the year, so from the 1st of January. I personally, in my own business, don't like to do this. I think that costs are so much higher for everybody in December and January. So I kind of avoid that, and I put mine up in April, which is in line with the new tax year starting. You can also then let clients know at the end of January that you are going to be putting their fee up from the 1st of April. So it gives them plenty of notice, but also kind of cuts out that holiday period. You could also choose a month like September, which is after the summer holidays and things like that. So gives them a bit more time until Christmas. Really, it is up to you. And if you want to put it up in January, you go ahead. I'm not telling you not to do that. I'm just saying in my business, I tend to avoid that just because I know that costs are higher for everybody. The point here is just to pick a day that you want to put your rates up and make sure that that is a blanket day for every single person in your practice. Okay, so let's talk about how you are going to communicate this with your clients. So if you haven't already, the first thing I would do is update your paperwork to state that you will or may increase your rates annually. You want to make sure that that is put into the contract, and you want to also voice that to any new clients that start with you, just so that they're prepared and they know that on this day each year the rate will increase, and that you will let them know about that in advance. When you first tell your existing clients about a rate increase, I would do so in writing, and I will put an email template that you can use on screen, and you can just copy that down and just work it from your own point of view. But it's a good starting point for you so that you know what to say to clients when you first advise them about a rate increase. I would make sure that you are giving them a minimum of 30 days, and more preferable than that is 60 days notice. Providing 60 days notice shows respect for your client's time and finances while giving them space to prepare. You can also follow up with them in their next session once you've sent the email about the rate increase, and just ask them if they have any queries about that or any concerns, so that you can handle that in session face to face, because it's much easier than back and forth over email. So leading on from that, the next part is handling pushback from your clients. Now, I have worked with therapists in private practice for over 8 years, and I can confidently say that the amount of pushback we get from clients when we let them know about a rate increase is really, really small. You're probably thinking in your head, I'm going to get so many people complaining, and you'll probably get one. But what I want you to do is think ahead of how you will handle that pushback. And also you want to think about why people wouldn't be able to pay your new rate, and ways that you can get around that. So there are lots of things you can do. You could waive the fee increase for a particular client. If you have a low fee program, then that client would go into that program because they're not paying your full fee. You also need to make sure when you're doing those calculations about how many clients you're seeing and what your session fee needs to be, you need to take into account for the people that are paying lower, so then the other people need to pay higher to get your average fee. You could find a middle ground for the client. So maybe you're putting the rate up by £10 and the client says that they can afford to pay £5 and you're okay with that. So then you can, do that and find the middle ground. You can also work towards the fee. So maybe in month 1, they pay half of what the fee increase is. And then in month 2, they go to the full fee, or maybe that's spread out over 3 months. Whatever it is, just make sure that you are happy with that and that the client is aware of it and that you back it all up in writing. Or alternatively, if it's something you are completely unable to do and you really need to fill that spot with your full fee, you can help them find a new therapist which is in their price range, or you can work towards ending therapy. And that's another reason to give them 60 days notice, because if a client is about ready to graduate or finish therapy, or they can't pay your new fee and you really need that new fee, you have plenty of time to wrap up working with that client. So let's talk about some common fears that you may have when it comes to raising your fees. So the first one, and probably the main one, is losing clients. You'll probably fear that if you put your rate up, clients are going to walk away from you. That is a super common fear and completely understandable. But like I said, in all my experience, this has never happened. It's never happened. But also, if you're giving your clients a really good service, they are going to want to make sure that you are compensated for that. You might also feel really guilty about charging more, but in this situation, you really need to lean on your fact-based finances that you have done. You've looked at what you need to live on, you've looked at your expenses, and you have worked out how much you need to charge each client in order to get to that. You are probably not going to be able to buy a yacht and sail off in the next couple of years based on putting up your fee a few pounds. What you are trying to do is feed your family and live your life. So if you think about all of those things, that you have done fact-based finances, you can see all of your costs going up yourself, that you need to work this amount because of other things going on with your life, you can justify to yourself why you are raising these fees. You don't need to justify to yourself or your clients why you're raising your fees. But if it is something that you are feeling and you're feeling really guilty about it, I really want you to just think about it in terms of the facts rather than the feelings. Remember, your rate reflects the value that you are bringing to your clients and your need to maintain a sustainable practice. If you do not maintain a sustainable practice, you will be out of business because you will not be able to cover your costs and live your life. You will not be able to continue in private practice and help the clients that you are so greatly helping. Most clients respect and expect rate increases. And you have to remember as well, clients aren't just paying for the 50-minute session. They are also paying for your training and your expertise. And this increases with every single year that passes by. So let's just go over what we have covered in today's video and give you the practical step-by-step guide for how to raise your fees. So step 1, you need to know your finances. Review your finances, both your business and your personal finances. You need to know the numbers so that you can make real decisions about what it is that you need to charge for your sessions. Step 2, decide when you are going to put your new fee into action. Step 3, here's where you want to start making a note of every place that you need to update your fee, whether that is your website, your social media, your directory listings, referrals, all the places that I listed before, and making sure that your paperwork is also updated. Step 4, you want to draft all of your communications. So the first communication will be to any referrers or anybody that sends you clients. The second one is going to be to your clients. So maybe send that to a trusted friend or a supervisor. I do have that template for you. I will also leave that in the description as well, that you can just copy paste. But send that to some of your friends or a supervisor and kind of just get some opinions on how it comes across and things like that. Step 5, practice saying your new fee over and over and over again until it just becomes a number. You don't want that number to have any emotional baggage. You just want to say, my fee is £80, my fee is £90, my fee is £140. Whatever it is, just keep saying it over and over again until it just becomes a number. Also, please make sure when you tell your clients your new fee, do not say anything. I've had clients in the past that said, my fee is £80, but if you can't pay that, we can work something out, or just keep talking, because they're just not comfortable saying that number. So just end it there. That's my fee. And more than likely, the person on the other end is just going to say, okay. If they can't pay that fee and they want to talk to you about it, then that's fine. But leave that up to the client. Don't put words in their mouth. Because if somebody said to me, my fee is £100, but just let me know what you can pay. Okay, I'd probably pay the £100, but there's lots of people that would say, oh, okay, well, is £80 okay? And then what are you going to say? No, actually, I want the £100. You're not going to say that. You're going to say, yeah, sure. And really, you don't want to take the client on for £80 when your fee is £100. And then finally, just hit publish, let your clients know, and just go ahead and see what happens. That's really all you can do. We really do build things like this up in our mind and go over and over and over it again so many times that it just completely overwhelms us. I am the same sometimes as well. But realistically, it's never as bad as you think it's going to be, and the best thing to do is just go for it. I'd love to know if you found this video helpful. If there was one particular tip that you're going to take away, please let me know in the comments. I'd love to interact with you and find out what it is you've taken away from this video. If you like this video, please subscribe. It means so much to me and helps me to make free weekly content for therapists in private practice. And until next time, thanks so much for watching.